these the benefits of NFTs and whatnot, what is the most valuable, and if you're comfortable answering this, what is the most valuable NFT that you own, Veve or not? I'm assuming it's going to be on Veve.
Yeah, it's probably the Secret Rare Spiderman. I think that's the one that's most valuable, because I think those are like 21,000 right now, give or take.
Yeah.
Did you get that on the drop, or did you buy on the market?
Oh no, I bought that on the market. That was, I remember thinking, and I don't know if it was my like addiction side trying to reason with my logic side. I was like, okay, well, happens all the time. As soon as the market opens, it'll rush for this much, and then after a while it'll settle down. But right. I think because for that Spider-Man one, we had to wait like 27 hours for that market to reopen. Because it didn't open right away. We got it on like a Saturday, and that Sunday, like 27 hours later, the market opened. And I remember thinking to myself, okay, well, this is different because the market didn't just open a certain amount of time after. It was a day after. And also, this is Spider-Man. This is Marvel's first NFT. And I was like, so as soon as it opened, I got one for like 3,200, and then it went down to like 1,600. And I feel like that kid that's like, it's like, like that meme. Like, no. So I should have gotten another one.
Right, now look at you.
Yeah. But I know to not make that mistake, and not the mistake of buying too early, the mistake of not buying a second one when it goes to half of what you paid for it.
Absolutely.
Right.
So I just did that. Where I bought the first, where Storm came out, she was like $3,000, and then 25, 22, and so I got one at 1,900, and then I see her the other day at like 749. It's like, this is stupid. So I bought another one, and then I bought 3 sub 100s of her because I thought they were pretty undervalued. And then a buddy of mine messaged me who already had 7 Storms, bought another 20. I was like, what?
And then you were on the right path, though, because that's you and your boy you were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah, he said he did that. It's like because of me, and I was like, damn, that's and he also did that with Alligator Loki. Like he saw that I bought a bunch. And it's like, yeah, you bought a bunch, and you were getting too close to what that I had, and you couldn't have more than me. So now he's got more than triple than what I have, and I have 12.
I don't know, man. We got to talk off camera, man, about, your sources of income, man. I got to get on your level. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing some wrong things over here in Suffolk, man. I'll move back to Nashville, bro. But, man, earlier you were mentioning something about a drone video game or something like that.
Yeah, the gameplay looks really cool. It's like you build your own drone, and you can like travel with it, and you go pretty fast. And Earth 2 wound up buying it because it was still in development. And yeah, Earth 2's been making some sick moves lately. So I was like, oh, this is legit. So yeah, very happy. And they're making the game free. The game was supposed to be like $45, $60 or whatever. And like, nah, we'll just release it for free. And I was like, oh.
Wow. So on Earth 2, can you put NFTs, like what blockchain is it on?
So currently it's actually, they are partnered with Matic, Polygon.
You did say that. So it's Ethereum layer 2. So can you put in any NFTs?
No, not yet. You relax.
Pump the brakes.
So
he's like dying to find a place to put his NFTs. Man.
I'm dying.
Somebody make this man a mall or something, please.
I don't know if it's on Atomic Hub, where there are actually a few NFTs that do bear the Earth 2 logo, and I'm on them, which is really cool. So you have one. I got number 69. There's like 100 of them made. So there's one of me, and then there was another one after that. And so I have a. So there are a couple of NFTs that do bear the Earth 2 logo, and that's
very
so
dope.
I'm on those. That's really cool.
Very cool.
But outside of that, no, there's no interoperability with other NFTs sharing with this one yet. I think they will have that at some point.
So it's not an environment where it's like, you know, you have this wide, you know, far away bird's eye view, and then you're able to like, oh, there's my house, and then zoom in and then actually see room per room and stuff like that.
No, it's Google Maps pretty much. So you can see houses and stuff, and but there is no. When Logan Paul tried to buy his own place, somebody else bought it from him. They bought it out from underneath him already. He's like, can't even buy my own place. They bought it from me.
Hilarious.
But it's just that there's no like.
It's not. Yes.
Yeah. But they're building. You are able to build hollow buildings, like the outline of the buildings now, and they look cool.
Very dope. Very dope. I'm gonna definitely check it out tomorrow because it sounds interesting. I like it. I like it, and the fact that you know it's on Polygon Matic. You know, I'm really excited about that. So, did you? What do your friends and family? What do they know that you're a big NFT Veve YouTuber and stuff? You know that you hold so much worth with Omi. Do they know this? And what do they think?
My close friends do, and I don't. So here's where I like. It's a little frustrating, where my friends have, my close friends, they saw me like get out of the military, and they saw me go and open up the high risk lending business underneath the umbrella of another company, and I had multiple people. Not really them. They just kind of let me do my thing, and like, all right, well, you know, I hope it works. But I had multiple people in family saying like, hey, you shouldn't get out of the military. You have a guaranteed job and you have guaranteed healthcare. And I was like, well, I wanted to be an X-ray technician, but eventually I go to school and they're like, okay, at least you're going to school. And then I get a job at the high risk lending place, just, you know, answering calls, just doing like data input. And then I realized that how much money can be made there. And I was making money just from the commissions of it, not even investing my own money. And you know, my first full month there, I made $8,000, and I was like,
you sound like me. You sound just like me, man. I answered a penny saver call to do like faxes, basic data entry, and I'm listening to these brokers on the phone, and I'm like, I could do better than that. Next thing I know, they gave me a script by month 2, bro. 6 G's, you know what I'm saying? It was like Boiler Room mixed with Wolf of Wall Street where I was at, man. It was crazy.
Same exact thing.
See, I knew. It's the Long Island thing, bro. They reckless out here. 18-year-olds with Lambos. It was wow. Like,
no, dude, it's nuts. So then my mom was all like, she wouldn't talk to me for a while because I dropped out of school. And then I was like, okay. So, and then, you know, I start making money, and then I start putting money into these deals, people that needed nothing crazy, you know, $20,000, $30,000, and they were all business owners. So you get to see their bank statements, you get to see their stream of income and what they spend money on. You know, am I going to fund this tennis coach that just blew $3,000 in Vegas? Or am I going to fund this construction worker that the reason he doesn't have money is because he's using his money to pay his people. He's taking out credit cards so that he can get material for the next job. And he's owed $100,000 in aging receivables for 3 jobs that he just finished. So I feel like, and people were bad at that. People like didn't understand how to read that. Yep. So I go in and I tell people, hey, I'm starting to give money back, and you're getting insane interest rate. You're getting like up to 24.99% each year. And some people they'll pay off early to get a discount. And it's like, this is so easy. I wish I had more money. He's like, guys, you got to get in this. And they're like, now you're going to lose all your money. Now you had some, and like, I was like, no, guys. And eventually when I went from, 2017, I started with less than $3,000. To October of 2019, I had 100,000 aging receivables. And I was like, y'all can still get in if you want. And some of my friends did. But then I started going into Tesla and Pokemon cards. I was like, guys, like I'm splitting there. I'm still brokering the high risk lending, but all my money is going into Tesla and Pokemon cards. And they're like, I don't think that's a good idea. I was like, guys, trust me. Like all of these Pokemon cards are undervalued. I knew what was selling for what and what was under and overvalued. And I knew Tesla was. I knew they were so disruptive, and they're like, the market just lost, you know, like half of its mojo. Like they're, and I'm saying like, no, trust me, like in harsh times, disruptive technologies flourish. And
They
I keep
thrive.
telling them that all these other companies are not going to do well, and a lot of the money will flow into Tesla, and people are getting into Pokemon cards. And they said, no, I don't see it. And then I made a bunch of money with that. And then what really did it for a lot of them was, there's this card called a Trophy Kangaskhan, which was only released in Japan in 1998. It was a parent-child tournament, and if you won a certain amount of battles, you got this card. And at the time, the record price point was like $25,000, but it hadn't been sold in like a year. And I knew there's only 11 of those PSA 10, graded PSA 10 in the world. And my friend Scott had declined a $65,000 offer, but nobody else knew that. So I negotiated with this one guy to pay $80,000 for it. And my friend's like, are you freaking kidding me? Like you're disturbed, you're wrong. And I was like, I'm not wrong. And then I wound up flipping that. I wound up selling it for almost 300 grand earlier this year. And, you know, I'm telling my friends that, you know, at that point to get into Bitcoin, that's what my plan was. And then I was like, and then I found Omi, you know, and this was after Earth 2. And like, how many times do I have to be right for them to listen? And like, they still haven't. It was like, you guys, but some of my friends have. Some of my friends in recent years have.
I'll be real with you, man. You know, I found your channel pretty early. I'm the type, like, when I find people's channels, especially when they're just starting, like, I'm pretty quiet. I don't really blow up the comments, but then, like, as they're putting in work and they show they're going to be around, I know how much, you know, hitting the like and adding comments is. So I start reaching out and, you know, back when I found you, yeah, there were a couple of content creators for Veve and stuff, but a lot of those guys, I couldn't tell if they were shills. I couldn't tell if they were working with Veve. I can't tell, you know, because certain people's level of production looks so good that it's like, you know, so it was like you, Joe, certain people I gravitated towards because I felt like, A, y'all were probably from New York. And then B, you know, the way you come off your setting, it's like what I would do, you know, and you're very down to earth, you know, you never acted like you're bigger than anybody. But I have to let you know, man, like me actually looking into Omi and then actually saying, okay, out of my budget, I want to add this onto the Veve app and get gems, but I might have to split it in half and get some more Omi. Like, you know, when I started putting in perspective, you were talking, you know, oh, by this was, I'll put it to you like this. I was watching your videos when you were like close to a million Omi, like you were throwing like all types of shit at it. You were like, yo, I gotta hit 1 million. And then like I wasn't in yet, so I couldn't put in perspective how much that would translate to in like real money. But it just sounded like a lot. And I'm like, I don't understand. This guy sounds like a whale, but he looks like a regular dude. I'm like, how are you buying 1 million Omi? I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I'm like, so then when I started looking into it and then watching more, it was like you really were through seeing your sacrifices, it made me realize how important it was to, yeah, still invest in the collectibles, but the gains that people may not be realizing that's there or for the Omi might be even crazier. Like, you know, so I gotta give you credit that you know, you're the main one that like I still don't have a lot of you know, it's a couple thousands, you know what I'm saying? Like it's nothing crazy, but I'm, you know, always mindful, like, you know, before you think about investing in some crypto you don't know about, go with what you do know about, you know, and it's goes back to like, you know, when I started actually hanging around financially, literal people, they would be like, okay, you got all these Jordans over here. How much Nike stock do you got? You know, you over here buying, you always buy Exxon gas. How much Exxon shares you got? You know, and stuff like that. Just putting stuff in perspective of like, you know, if you support something, then, you know, put yourself in position to reap some back end benefits and all those other things too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for you too, if there's a movie I want to watch, and I could get, and it's not on like Netflix or Paramount or whatever, instead of I'll pay for it on YouTube as opposed to Amazon, just because YouTube pays me. So it's like, okay, I'll support what pays me.
So cyclical, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Makes sense. So, all right. So Randy, by the way, whoever's watching, drop a like. I have the real Randy Chavez, a link to his YouTube channel. If for whatever reason you're not subscribed, click it, go subscribe, hurry back, drop a like. This is open forum. Go ahead. I was out of the chat up until about 3 minutes ago or so. I am back in the chat. So there is a question that came in on the chat by Anthony Rodriguez, and he's saying, what are your thoughts on Veve giving users the option to burn NFTs? Would this be a good idea, or would it be a bad idea, giving the option to Veve users to burn NFTs?
I could see a couple of reasons why for both. I think good because, you know, if somebody wants to say like, hey, you know what, I have a bunch of these extra ones that I bought one night when I was drunk or whatever, and I don't really need them, and I really want to make sure I get, you know, if I burn them, you can get master collector points, and you could use those to try to get a drop that you really want. I think that is probably a good thing for that. But I also thought that if you already have, let's say like 1,000 collectibles or whatever, or several hundred collectibles, you probably have a lot of sets, and you're probably getting enough points that you could save up over 6 months, and you can get pretty much what you want, and you wouldn't really need to burn the collectibles. And if you only have, let's say, like a couple of collectibles and, you know, maybe not a lot of sets, you know, you're not going to burn the collectibles that you have. So I think that does only fit a pretty niche people like in the middle that want to burn some to be able to compete with the whales. But also, I think that this is just an idea. I forgot to ask Reese about it today when I was on Voices of Veve. But if you were to say like, hey, for a common, if you were to burn, you know, 10 or 20 commons or 100, it probably have to be a lot. If you were to burn 100 commons, then you can get a sub 40, you know, collectible for that common. I was like, right. Oh, that would be legit. I would totally do that.
So that's what they said? That's something they brought up?
That's what I would like. I didn't bring it up. Okay. But I did ask Reese about saying like, hey, wouldn't it be cool? Like, remember in Hunger Games, when somebody gets eliminated, you hear like a cannon go off and you see the face show up that says this person's been eliminated. Wouldn't it be cool if we're able to turn on notifications for every time someone destroyed like a comic or a certain collectible? I would like, I'd be like, oh my God, who burned what? Who burned what? And you get to see the number that was destroyed. You get to see, I think that would be really great. The one thing I kind of don't like about it is if, you know, let's say you give your kids an account or you're, you know, they do something stupid and they accidentally delete your $100,000 collectible. Oh, like that would not be good. Or if you have like an ex and they go into your account just to screw you. I was like, oh, that would just.
Oh my God.
So I could see it. There's some really bad things happening.
And those Latinas, man, they, man.
One aspect I just get a little worried with the burning aspect as far as like, I don't like the idea of somebody burning a low mint.
I'm not crazy about it either. I'm with Strange on this. If I had to vote, I would vote no to the burning.
So this is why I got really big into Secret Rare Alligator Lokis, where I like the character. He's a pretty awesome character, but it's because I thought one night that, well, there's only 760 of the Secret Rare because they take away 40 out of the 800, and it's the lowest mint, and it really wasn't that expensive. And if you get, let's say, 10 people, let's say 10 guys that are that can, let's say millionaires that can afford, like my friend James just sent me a message that a buddy of his that works on Wall Street, that he sent a message to in August when the price is like 0.0027, is like, watch what this is by Christmas. And the dude, not my friend James, but the dude that he sent the message to, he makes like like $10 million a year, like freaking ridiculous. Even if he wanted to, but let's say him and his buddies, they put in child's play $100,000 into this, and they go and they wanted to just control, not even watch the world burn, but just control the market. And they go and they say, okay, well, what's the a popular thing? Okay, it's Marvel. Okay, we'll get the lowest mint secret rare. We'll buy them all up, and then after we buy a bunch of them, we could all chip in like, $200 each, and then we could, pull $20,000 together and burn like the rest of the supply that's available on the market. And then and that's just if they want to control the market and renting out their collectibles, not including, let's say, if 4chan gets a hold of this and they say, hey guys, let's make little girls cry, and they get one of the Mermicornos and they just pull up like $1 million and like, yeah, no girl's ever going to get this again. Like, we don't even want them. We're just going to burn them. We're just going to live stream us burning these ponies.
Or make it to where it's almost impossible to complete like a certain set.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Or if they know there's somebody that collects number 88 mints, if they say just to be like, they're just going to burn, they're just going to bake a couple $1,000s for an 88 mint, just going to burn it. Like, just because they can.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm crying right now.
You gotta play defense with this.
We might have to change the subject. This is getting a little touchy.
Bro. Man. Okay. Oh man, I don't like burning. I'm telling you.
There's going to we haven't run into it yet, but there is going to be a time, whether it's in Earth 2 or whether it's in the VV-verse, where I bet you like religion and race is going to go into it, and there's going to be like a bunch of people like ex-IDF, Israeli Defense Forces guys that are going to buy a bunch of plots of land. They're going to call it like Israel and Jerusalem, and they're going to buy a couple of other plots of land. They're going to call it like Gaza, and by this time we're going to have Mario, and they're going to take some bomb arms, and they're just going to constantly bomb Gaza, and it's going to be such a crazy thing, and they'll be doing that with oh, hey, here's a brown character, let's get him, let's beat up the brown character. Let's use our I guarantee you stuff like that happens. Now I don't know how much of that'll be funny and how much of that'll be like, oh, that's like actually mean-spirited, or how much of that is like, all right, it's Family Guy type of
satire or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Along these lines. All right. So what is your Grail VV NFT that you want, something you don't have? Yeah.
I don't have. Ooh. I don't. The Marvel Comics #1. I do not have a secret rare of that.
Okay. So going with that whole subject, what if somebody goes and takes the Marvel Comics #1 and secret rares, and they burn a bunch of them, and they just keep whatever, a few. That would, I mean that would make anybody go crazy, right?
Yeah, man, like that's because I also think that is a like irresponsible show of I don't know what the word for it would be, privilege, where they can like that's tens of thousands of dollars. You can feed so many people with that. You could build a well in Africa, outfit it with a sanitation station, and you could do that's some real money. So I really hope that people don't do that.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure it won't happen. But
I don't know. Like I said, there's people that are just gonna be like, yeah, let's heck people up.
Man, this messed me up right there. Cameron, what's up? Everybody, chat. Drop a like. I've got a link for the Real Randy Chavez's YouTube channel. It's pinned on top. Go over, sub. I did see somebody did say that they subbed. So yeah, anyone else, go over, sub, and drop a like, as I mentioned. So I also wanted to ask if there were an NFT. There was an NFT that to come to VV, but that isn't Pokemon. Okay. So what NFT would you want VV to create that's obviously not on the platform already? other than Pokemon?
There's a few that come to mind. Jurassic Park, Transformers, My Little Pony, Dragon Ball Z. Although we did announce Jurassic Park, so I don't know if that counts. But there's this one scene in one of the Transformers movies where Optimus Prime goes and he calls on like these dinosaur
Dinobots.
Yeah, the Dinobots, and he's riding a T-Rex. And I remember it was 4th of July. I forget what year. It was 4th of July, and I saw that movie. And ever since then, I wanted Optimus Prime riding a T-Rex. And so definitely that. But I don't know if you guys have ever seen Death Battle on YouTube. Oh yeah. They take two amazing characters from different universes and they make them fight.
So
and there was one episode, Rainbow Dash from My Little Pony versus Starscream. And I was like, oh God, this pony's gonna die. But then based on like the how fast Starscream can go, which is like Mach 2 maybe.
Right.
Rainbow Dash from My Little Pony can go like Mach 10 when she does the Sonic Rain Boom. So she can outspeed him. She's a black belt in karate. And there's just no way that, and I was like, oh my God, that's insane. So I want some My Little Pony NFT. That's another fun show. That sounds like it's like, really? Is it? And it's not like the 80s show, like the newer show. It's really good. So I really want those. I want to be able to have like a death battle.
I love it. I love it. The Grimlock was the leader of the Dinobots. I'm a huge Transformer fan.
Oh, cool.
And so fun fact is I still have him, Grimlock, the original toy. I told my mom, I said, Mom, like serious, like we need to change this name. My real name is Jose, right? Yeah. But she calls me Joey, right? So I'm like, look, this Joey business is not working. You refer to me as Grimlock. Okay, from this day forward, I'm Grimlock to you. Okay, and I remember she was like in Spanish, like, "Hey, like, ¿qué es eso, Grimlock?" And I'm like, "Ma," and I'm like, I remember, I'll never forget. She got pissed about it, and I was like trying to be firm, but it didn't work. But that's just how, man. If Grimlock comes out and Optimus is on, riding Grimlock, oh my Lord, that would be game over. Yeah. Then I'll burst into flames or something. I don't even know what's gonna happen. Man. Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, so there was something you was touching on earlier during the live stream about like how you like going after low mints. It was funny because I was actually noticing the other day, I didn't even know that high mints were a thing. And I actually was just looking at prices on them. And then coincidentally, you were mentioning even that during your stream earlier. But funny situation that I went through recently that tied into everything you was touching on was before the 12 days of Veve, I had a nice amount of gems on my hands, and won't say exactly what I purchased, but I purchased something from season 1, a very early, collectible on Veve. It was a little pricey. And I bought it because you know how like when you pop into something, you'll see the floor price, and then let's say like the next listing is like $100 higher. And then the next listing after that is $50 higher. And then, so you're like, if I scoop this up, and then let's say the mint on the floor is like a 3-digit and everything else is 4-digit. You're thinking if I pick this up and just literally relist it, I can make some nice profit.
Yeah.
And what you were touching on earlier, like you were saying how you can take advantage of low mints that are underpriced, but you have to be careful because if the item isn't hot, you can get a little jammed up. And that's what happened to me. Basically, I was trying to do a little quick flip right before the 12 days of Veve. And what I didn't realize was like, yeah, you got a low mint for a great price. And even if you list it underneath the next high price and make profit, like no one's clicking on this. And no one is really going to be trying to spend like $900 for $600 right now. Like, especially once they announce the 12 days of Veve, it's a wrap. So I was doing all of this before the announcements, but I didn't realize that one factor of like, it's not hot enough. This was especially one of the first things on the app, and even as a collectible, it's not the hottest item. It's very rare. There's not a lot of mints of it. So it's like if you're, you know, and there is a lot of buzz nowadays about, you know, starting to stack up your season 1 stuff, get your early stuff now. So I kind of was leaving the door open for that aspect, but at the end of the day, bro, it did not work. So to a degree, I'm stuck with an asset that's worth a couple $100, and you know, we could have something crazy drop on the app any day now, and then I'm forced with basically, you know, participating in a semi gem squeeze situation. You know, it's like, do you take a little loss on it just so you liquid again, and then you might come back getting something else, you know? So
I mean, I guess it depends on for me, I think time tends to be pretty, I don't want to say undervalued, where eventually if you want whatever you want, that if it's really popular, then maybe you don't have that much time and you're going to try to get on the drop. But unless it's like a Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, or like a Harry Potter thing, or Pokemon, whatever you like that is next, that let's say you might not be able to afford, most likely it'll cool off and there might be a sell-off of that when like the next big thing comes. So if let's say they drop Wolverine like the first of the year or whatever, and I'm able to go and you know, Wolverine versus Wolverine in AR, I would, and let's say I can't get it because I only have a couple hundred gems left. I just have to wait. I was like, okay, well, I screwed myself. I got to pay for it now. I mean, I have the option where I could, when Omi Moons, we have Omi NFT, I could buy it then, but just save up my pennies and then hopefully in like a month or so, when the next big thing comes out and that cools off, I can go and get that.
Whenever people forget about it, that's when I want to buy it. That's what I've been trying to do now, you know? And, you know, if I can't help it, not sell anything, but it's like if I do have to sell something, try not to sell because I need gems for something else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.